And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Alright. Hey guys, it's Jess.
And Mike.
Don't slouch. We are going to go back into the vaults and talk about one of them. It was about writing your recruit in boot camp, do's and don'ts. And now that we are older and Mike is here and he's been around the block, we have probably
a little bit
different tips than what I said. The point of this is that he's now here so he can give his advice from being someone that was actually in boot camp rather than just someone that's writing someone in boot camp.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Do you want to start with do's?
Yes.
Okay. What's your first do? What was the first thing that you really wanted in your letters?
In my letters, I guess just what's going on back home. I'm not sure what you said in the video.
I can't even remember, honestly.
But I guess what's going on back home, like what's different, what's new. That's pretty cool to see sometimes. The biggest thing I'd say is, yeah, just what's going on back home. Like that stuff would make me smile a lot. Like it was pretty cool. It was really motivating. I couldn't wait to get back. And then I guess just motivation. Like in boot camp, we were a super motivated recruit, and you're like, oh, like I just gotta make it. I gotta see my family as a Marine. So I guess the biggest motivation is like motivating someone through a letter, like saying like, you know, you're gonna come back and you're gonna be a Marine and the whole family's gonna see you. So just motivating like that, because that's all I could think about in boot camp is not letting my family down. I
can't remember if I even said that in the last one, but I remember some of the dues that I did say were like, I mean, all of this was subjective, if that's the right word. Like, I would say things and I didn't know if he really liked them, but it's what I thought he really likes. I did a lot of like quotes, like lyrics.
Bible
I did
quotes.
a lot of.
I requested a lot of Bible quotes.
Yeah, and I also like at one point sent you scores of like sporting events, like who won different
like the Super
games.
Bowl. I was in boot camp during the Super Bowl, so that was pretty cool. Everyone was talking about that. As you can tell, I found Jesus in boot camp, and I've stuck with that. I didn't want to be with one of those people that, you know, they were really religious in boot camp, and then they graduate boot camp and they just stop like praying and stuff. So I prayed a lot in boot camp, and I continue to pray after boot camp.
This is much better. Sorry guys, the lighting was kind of weird over there. Some other do's were, plastic bag for your letters and stuff. Remember I've sent a plastic bag?
Yeah, because in boot camp you're not gonna have like somewhere to put your letters, so I would just throw them in my foot locker, and having a plastic bag to throw them. Oh, and also in boot camp they make you dump your foot lockers a lot. Like you just dump everything out, so you lose letters. They scramble in with other people's stuff. So having a plastic bag to stuff them in, that way anytime they dumped your stuff, like they would be all in a letter. So I mean, I'm sure somewhere I still have the letters that Jess wrote me. So
I have all the ones Mike wrote me. I remember I did a questionnaire once, which you didn't really fill out. I did a questionnaire that was like different questions, and it had like 2 answers or like a blank spot, and you would fill in like the answer to it. I'd be like, what's your favorite, like, have you made any friends in boot camp? And you were supposed to write like who you made as a friend. You didn't really fill them all out, but I thought that was such a cool idea.
The reason why it just didn't work out for me personally was because, I mean, I would also try and fit time into work out on square away time, and like I didn't really want to sit there and fill stuff out because I felt like I wanted to write letters to so many people. And you only get like an hour, so I would cram like a bunch of writing in. And also you get an hour or whatever, but half the time they're like messing with you, and sometimes you have to like redo your foot locker because they'll rip the tape off, so you only get like 20 minutes sometimes. And I would just read it and then write a long letter, so sometimes I didn't take the time to write. To write answers and questionnaires.
Another do would be sandbox. Did you like sandbox?
Yeah, so I even wrote, when my buddies went to boot camp, I wrote them sandbox letters. One, it's quick and easy for the person who's writing it. It's a little money, but $3.
I thought it was worth it. I would use them to respond to your letters that he sent me.
It makes the recruit not have to buy stamps if he runs out of stamps, or borrow buddy stamps, because you just put your letter back in the envelope that's there, and you'll send it. For a while, she was sending me those, and I was sending her back regular letters because I didn't know that it had like a little stamp on it. Because it's just like a little barcode, it's not like a stamp.
Yeah.
But
I like those really a lot because they send so quick.
Yeah, those got there way faster than regular letters. Like regular letters could take up to over like a training week to like 4 to 6 days. Once you're like full-fledged in the routine, not like the first couple letters. Sandbox letters were getting there sometimes like 2 days. I'd say the longest 3 days. But
yeah, if there was a holiday or something.
But for the most part, it would take only like 2 days. And I would get her letters.
I love
and then
those.
when I sent
and
it
you
back,
could attach pictures too, which is I feel like what I like.
Yeah, that was and it wasn't like an actual picture that you had to put. It was just on the like printed on.
So I guess another do. I don't know if this is a do. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but the Facebook pages have like pictures of them. I remember I sent you one of them before.
Yeah, so I
don't know if you can do that or not, but I did it.
I don't know, but I thought I've
heard a rumor that you can't.
I don't know. I don't think so. That's not true. I mean,
I just thought it was cool. You thought it was neat too, right?
Boot camp's not as crazy as you think it might be. Like, it's really not anything insane.
You said that now.
I know, but I mean, now that I'm saying, like, you can get pictures. You'll be fine. Like, there's a lot of things that...
We'll get on to the don'ts.
There's a lot of things that we had that you weren't supposed to have. Like, some families would send the schedule of, like, the training schedule.
I remember that being...
And, I mean, all of us used to look at it, and technically we weren't supposed to look at that. And, no, the drone instructors wouldn't really know. They don't go through your mail.
But at the same time, you knew the schedule before you even left.
Yeah, just because I was obsessed with boot camp, so I knew, like, week 1 was this, week 2 was this, because I was so obsessed with, like, joining the Marine Corps, and I knew a lot before I joined. Like, a lot of kids just join and not know anything, which is perfectly fine. It's normal. I was just one of those weird, motivated police.
That's one of the last, like, do's. I don't know if this was, like, essential to you, but I always like dating them and, like, showing the date of which I wrote them, and then obviously...
Real quick, on the back, so yes, you can get Facebook photos. I think it was cool for me because I was like, oh, look at this.
Oh, it's me. It's actually me.
Yeah, and I'd show my buddies, and I'm like, damn, I wonder what my family thinks when they see that. Fast forwarding to what you just said, which was what?
The dates on the letters?
Yeah, I wrote dates on my letter. Even now, like, I'll be in the field, and anytime we're, like, kicking a freaking warning order or something about... or like a tactical scenario for like a range that we're about to run, I still date like my notes or anything just because I'm gonna keep that right in the rain, and one day like I want to look at it like 5 years from now and be like, oh, I can remember this. Like I found notes from when I was a boot when I first hit the fleet, and I was like, wow, like I remember this field op. Like I was probably hating my life, being really miserable, but I don't know. I just think it's funny like looking back. So I always dated my notes. I always dated what they are.
That really was helpful to me
my
too.
My letters, yeah. And I wanted to see like the time lapse or the time scenario sequence. I don't know how to speak English, but it's good for both of us to date our notes.
Right. But let's just do the don'ts. What you shouldn't do to someone. I think one of the big ones is like colored envelopes and like sparkles and stickers. Right. That draws attention to you.
Definitely not sparkles and stickers. I don't recommend sending birthday cards, because they can tell what birthday cards are. Like they can feel them depending on the drone instructor. You're gonna get slayed for that or not. But
here I want to make it like say something, because I know when I used to watch these videos I'd have questions. If you want to send that plastic baggie, stick it in a regular white envelope. You're fine. You're not gonna like get crap for that.
Yeah. But
something where it's like an obvious happy birthday card, that's different.
Don't write private. I don't know.
Or like do not open like.
Yeah, don't write stuff.
Anything on the front?
Yeah. On the front and back, all you should have out there is stamps, the address, and then his address. So recruit whatever, blah blah, company whatever, Paris on it. Like do not write like Private Rodriguez or something like that. Like I don't know why you would.
Love you, like or something.
Or don't write like you will be a Marine soon or blah blah. Like don't mention the word Marine because they're not Marines yet, and that's like really big in recruit training, the whole you're not a Marine yet thing, obviously, because you're in boot camp. Don't put stickers on the outside like Marine Corps stickers. Don't make it too bulky.
I think another one would be don't send nudes if you're writing letters.
Yeah, I mean, you can probably, the recruit
get away with it.
Can probably get away with it, but
I just wouldn't want my personal nudes sent around the whole platoon.
I'm sure the whole platoon will see it, however special he is to you.
Right, and also if you don't have that plastic bag and things are getting thrown all over the place, how do you know where your nudes are gonna go?
Yeah, like, and then if the drill instructors do see him, then he'll get smoked for that. So
just don't send them. Just don't risk it. It's not even worth it.
I don't really think it's worth it. Yeah, like he's in.
You can wait.
Don't send food in the mail. I don't know. Don't send protein bars. We had one kid that got sent like 35 protein bars, and they all got taken by our drone instructors. So
what's crazy?
I don't see the point of that.
What's crazy you say that is even when I sent you stuff at ITB, it got taken.
Yeah, like I was in ITB.
And that's ITB. That's not even boot camp.
I was in ITB, and she sent me a bunch of candy and crap. Like probably like $35 worth of candy.
It was expensive.
And in the end, when they went through it, what they let me keep was probably like 3 candy bars.
Yeah.
It wasn't even 3 candy bars. They let me keep the protein bars, and they let me keep like I don't know, like M&Ms. They took everything else.
It's not even worth it.
That was
spend
an
that money.
That was an ITB too, so I should give tips about ITB because
yeah, that'll be in next video if you guys want to know about that. Or like Mike doesn't. You haven't been to MCT, but you know more than enough where you could help people out.
Yeah.
If you guys want that video.
I wouldn't worry about sending a lot of letters back to back. That's fine.
Also, oh yeah, that was another.
We had
question.
kids that would get letters every day. I was like almost one of those kids. What?
That was a question. There were, because I remember I wrote a lot of letters at first. People were like, is it okay? I was nervous. Is it okay for me to send 11 letters at once? And everyone was like, never really telling me the right answer.
You might get messed with a little bit, but you're not gonna get smoked with. Like, they'll just be like, oh, you get a lot of letters sent.
I don't know if this is a don't. You tell me. But like, it's bad news from home. Like bad like news that's happening in the world. Like, is that something we shouldn't be writing? I never did because I was told that you shouldn't.
I wouldn't recommend writing bad news from home unless someone is dying. I guess.
But would you even want to know that?
I mean, ultimately, I think the recruit, whoever's in boot camp, should make the decision whether they want to go on the Red Cross and come back to boot camp later or however that works. Because I mean, that only happens once and you can't take that back. So if I was the person that wanted to leave boot camp and go do that and then come back to boot camp, I would want the option versus not knowing. But do you want
the letter being the reason how you know? Like,
well, usually if it was something like that, I don't think you'd write a letter. You'd call Parasign, or you'd go up through the Red Cross, and so that'd be, I guess, so for something that severe, you go through the Red Cross. So as far as bad news, whether it's like a divorce or something like that, like if your parents are going through a divorce, I wouldn't like.
Yeah, I feel.
I guess I would just not say anything.
Or if like there's something like crazy bad going on in the world, and like maybe you don't need to know about it. You know what I mean?
Just let him focus on boot camp because. When you're like now I look at boot camp like whatever, but when you're in boot camp it's like a really big deal and you're stressed out and every event is something they're worrying about passing or not. And I mean you're not gonna fail boot camp unless you ultimately don't try. I mean if you're going to your recruiting office and you're PTing, you're gonna pass boot camp. The only way to fail is if you quit. You're not becoming a Navy SEAL or like a Green Beret. Like you're not going through selection. As long as you don't act dumb, you don't do anything stupid, and you don't quit, you're gonna pass.
Good motivation, Mike.
Yeah, I mean,
that was good.
If you want to be a Marine, you can become a Marine. You just can't quit. That's all it is.
I think that's everything. We're gonna answer a couple questions right now because I know that you guys have asked and commented on video. One, how long does it take for you to get a letter?
I'd say around my 3rd week there.
Okay,
I got my 1st week. Because the 1st week is receiving week. You're not writing letters yet. No one has an address. The 2nd week, you get your address that you send home. It takes about 5 days to get to your family. Then they write a letter back, which takes like another 4 or 5 days. So that 3rd week of boot camp around there is when I started receiving letters.
So I guess people that are asking, you can wait. To get their address, you can A, wait for the first letter to come in, or B, you can talk to the person at your office back home and they already know your address and you can ask them and they'll be able to supply that for you. Yeah. But obviously they're not receiving letters until
So I would just wait till you get that letter that recruits, we send it to the families. It's just a letter with all the stuff and it says the mailing address. I would wait for that letter because the moment you send that letter, they'll be there and it'll take a couple days.
Is that everything?
Is that it?
I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching.
We have some cool videos coming up.
Yes,
Jess got
tomorrow.
a new car. You're going to see this before the car tour video.
Yes.
So if you follow us on Instagram, follow us. We'll leave the description, the Instagrams in the description. Please follow me because everyone follows Jess.
Follow Mike.
No one follows me.
He will always follow you back.
I always follow back.
He's a true follower.
No matter who it is, I always follow back. So please follow me on Twitter and Instagram.
A really cool video coming out tomorrow. Well, we're gonna do it tomorrow. I don't know when it'll be out. And then we have
a car tour video.
And then we have a vlog that we put together a little bit.
Let me know if you like my hat. Leave it in the comments.
Thank you guys for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
And share this video.
We'll see you guys in our next video.
Peace.